Routines are so important to keep, especially in 2025. Especially my Sisterlocks clients, continue to braid and band and do your regular washes at least once or twice a week. Welcome to my channel. It's Marquita, your lock journey advocate. Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. It's Marquita, your lock journey advocate, and we are here today talking about the process of having locks. What is the daily routine and what is the upkeep? So let's get into it. I only have maybe about 5 tips that'll help you with your journey, especially those who are getting started and this is the beginning. You're not sure what to even expect. You're not even sure when you should wash your hair. Should you wait 4 months? Should you wait more than that? Or is it okay to even wash your hair right after you get your locks installed? So I'm gonna give you all the understanding on today. Let's get into it. All right, so today we are going to be talking about routine. Routine is so important when it comes to especially those who have new locks. They call them baby locks or sister locks, baby sister locks, or just regular natural micro locks. If you're just getting started, you want to come up with a routine, and a routine is very important because a routine will keep you on schedule. So when you get your hair retightened, your consultant has a good time retightening your hair. There's not a whole bunch of things going on with your hair. We're going to be talking about some of those things too, and you'll be all set to go once you're done with your retightening. So the first thing we want to focus on, depending on the lock style. So if you decide to get sister locks are amazing. They are interlocked, so they aren't palm rolled. Palm rolled locks, from what I understand, I don't do palm rolls, but from what I understand, you have to not wash your hair for a couple months in order for your hair to begin to lock. From what I was told by someone who does palm rolling, water is what saturates the hair and locks it in. I'm not sure, but I know for sure with sister locks, because I've had them and I've installed them, you can wash your hair up to a week after you get them installed and nothing will happen to your hair. You may get a little bit of slippage because obviously your hair is not completely locked yet, but if you need to wash your hair, you can wash your hair with sister locks with your regular washing routine. You do not have to wait months to wash your hair. That's what I love about sister locks. So hair washing is very, very important. Next, we're going to be talking about moisturizers. Can you moisturize sister locks? Is it safe to do so? Let me just tell you from my experience and also from being a client, being a consultant, and what the home office is saying. The home office, from what I understand, unless things have changed, there's no moisturizers needed with sister locks in the first, I would say within the first year. You really don't need moisturizers, anything on the scalp, because we want to prevent slippage. Now, slippage happens when your hair starts to pull up from the lock at the bottom, or you start to have slippage right at the root of the hair and it starts to pull down. So you want to be careful with slippage. Some slippage is normal. It's gonna happen because your hair isn't completely locked yet, but you want to be careful because moisturizers add to the slippage situation. So we don't want that to happen. So we want to be mindful not to add moisturizers. But I'm gonna add the caveat here. Once I got to after 1 year, 2 years, my scalp needed a little bit of moisturizer. And can we all admit that everybody's scalp is not the same? Everybody's scalp is different. So you may need a little something to help your scalp, and that's okay. Coming from a consultant's point of view, that's okay to me. I know a lot of people say, oh, just use water. Everybody's scalp is different. So if you need a little tea tree oil to help that scalp, or you have a little inflammation, you need a little something, coconut oil to help that scalp, listen to your consultant, but you know your hair better than your consultant. You know your scalp better than your consultant. You know your routine better than your consultant. So what I would say is tell your consultant your routine, ask for her or his their opinion, and do what needs to be done. Definitely take their advice because they're the one instructing you. They're the one giving you this advice, and see what happens with the information that they give you. Always weigh it out. Don't just do your own thing. Always weigh it out when you have these specific situations going on. Next, braiding and banding. I would say this is a perfect idea for all locking styles. I'm not sure about traditional locks, but from what I've seen, especially women that have 3C hair, women that have, or men that have curly hair and they have locks, braiding and banding is going to be your best friend. What is braiding and banding? All you're doing is taking rubber band, putting it at the edge of their locks, cuffing it over, and banding it. This part of your hair is going to be left out because you need to get your fingers into your scalp. Don't worry about the rest of the hair. The hair is going to get wet and it's going to get washed, but you want to braid and band those ends because we don't want there to be slippage going up the lock on those ends. So braiding and banding is very, very key. Along with that, I would say to continue to keep in mind that if your hair is, like I said, 3C hair, it's going to take a little while for your hair to lock. The locking process is a whole nother animal. It's a whole nother situation, but I want you to be encouraged. If your hair has not completely locked yet, within 1 year, give it another year. Everybody's hair texture and type is different. I've seen clients say, oh, I want my hair just like hers. I want my hair just like hers. I want it to look just like that. Everybody's DNA is different, right? So your hair is going to be different from someone else's. You may have the same kind of texture, but whatever locking style they have is going to be specific for their hair type and their hair texture. So I want you to be encouraged. If you haven't started locking yet, it's okay. It's going to happen. Right, let's get into a little bit about people that have locks that are already mature. I want to say maybe 3, 4, 5, up to 10, 20, 15 years, whichever it may be. For those that are already seasoned in their locking, if you've never put any moisturizers in it, it's okay. You don't have to. But I would say in order to keep your hair and your scalp nice and clean and fresh, you can add a little moisturizer daily. You can put a little spray mist. Some people like rose water. You can use any kind. I know I love Loxanity. They're a great brand, Loxanity, on Amazon. You can try them out. So there are many different kinds of locking sprays that you can use. You can make your own just to keep your hair and your scalp moisturized when your hair's already been locked for a good while. Especially in the winter and the summer, your hair is totally different in the winter and the summer. In the summertime, you're going to sweat out of your scalp, especially if you work out. So you want to just be careful and be mindful of that. But in the wintertime, your hair may get dry. So you may want to put a little bit of water in there daily, once a day or something like that. And then that should be fine. And then lastly, we're talking about retightenings. So let's talk about retightenings. How often should you get your locks retightened? For those that have prom rolling, I think they don't go as often, maybe every 2 months, maybe 3 months. But those who have interlocked locks, you want to go by how fast your hair grows. So if you know your hair grows, like say if you've had braids before, and you know within a month or two your hair starts to look old, and you need to get it done over. That's a good indicator that you're going to be needing to go to your consultant at least 6 to 8 weeks, or at least 4 to 6 weeks, depending on how fast your hair grows. Now, the ladies that have softer hair and they have, curlier hair, they may need to see their consultant a lot sooner because their hair is going to get loose and it's going to grow out a lot faster than those that have 4C hair or hair that's really, really tightly coiled. So you want to be mindful. Keep your appointments as much as you can. Things happen, but try to keep your appointments. Try to keep yourself within a specific schedule because it's going to be very vital before you go and see your consultant. So you know how things are going to be, how much you have to pay, and things of that nature. One more thing, I'm just going to add a little pin here. Separate your locks. Please separate your locks. It's a big help to your consultant. That's all I'm saying. Separating your locks definitely allows you to, pull those things apart because your locks like to begin to lock. And as the locking process starts, one strand from one hair and one strand from the next lock starts to come together and they would like to marry. They call them marrying locks. So you want them to be separated and you want your grid to stay strong and to stay cohesive. So separating your locks is very, very important. Add that to your daily routine. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to see exactly what day works best for me to load once a week. But yeah, thank you guys. Thank you to all the new subscribers. I really, really appreciate it. Like, share, and subscribe. Give this to someone that may be inquiring about locks or they want to know what the process is all about. All right, I'll speak to you guys soon. Thanks.